It has TCC as well. There's so many universities there in the capital. What is the security presence on campus? Because unfortunately, these school shootings have sort of become part of our American reality.
Correct. I've always thought that FSU PD has done a great job in general. I have never once felt unsafe my time here at FSU, or really in Tallahassee in general, because I'm born and raised here in Tallahassee. I have hardly ever felt unsafe until now, because I would have never known. I almost went to the student union today, and I'm so glad I decided against it. As far as security precautions, emergency buttons that they have sometimes around college campuses in case crimes do happen, a visible police presence, do you see that at FSU day in, day out? I do always see FSU PD around campus. No matter where I go, they are always somewhere wherever I am. We do have the emergency buttons all around campus. They've actually have taken initiative to try to make more of those, to my knowledge, to try to make them more accessible in case if someone is unsafe. But then again, I feel like they had some pretty good security measures. I'm not quite sure how this happened. Okay, Danielle, I want you to stand by for us as we're getting new reporting. And if you're just joining our coverage here, we are following an active shooter situation on the campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee, Florida. We understand this happened sometime around lunchtime and that it happened in the student union. Again, this is preliminary information. It could change. From what we know, at least 4 people so far have been taken to the hospital. Our George Solis is also tracking the developments from Florida as well. And George, what can you tell our viewers? What more news have we learned?
Yeah, Tom. So again, fast moving and fluid situation here. We can kind of give a timeline of when FSU first put out the alert. That was around noon at the start of the lunch hour, saying an active shooter has been reported in the area of the student union. Police are on the scene or on the way, advising people to continue seeking shelter. Now, as of note, we know that at least 4 were hospitalized. The hospital there, Tallahassee Memorial, putting out a notice a little bit ago, and we have it here, saying they are actively receiving and caring for patients related to an incident that has occurred at FSU. At this time, details are still unfolding. We'll note that they do not say the number of people at this time, indicating this could be a fluid and rapidly changing number as well, saying we do not have specific information to share. However, we want to assure the community that our teams are fully mobilized and prepared to provide the highest level of care and support to all those affected. And again, just of note, Tom, as you've mentioned, this is a very large campus. More than 40,000 students attend FSU, according to their records. We're also seeing some reaction pour in from officials as well. Senator Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, saying he's praying for the safety of everyone at FSU and a swift recovery for those injured. He's saying his team has been in touch with local law enforcement and continues to monitor the situation with students there on campus. And we should note, Tom, at this hour, FSU putting out another bulletin about 12:40 Eastern, saying that all classes and university events, including athletic events scheduled for today, have been canceled. Individuals not already on main campus at this time should avoid coming to the Tallahassee main campus. Again, just indicative of that large police presence and what we're going to see over the next several hours as this investigation unfolds. We've seen this play out time and time again when you have these multiple law enforcement agencies surrounding this campus to learn more about what transpired here. And as you mentioned, this is such a fast moving and unfolding situation. There's going to be a lot to learn here in the hours ahead, Tom.
Okay, George Solis for us. George, we appreciate that. I want to get to Evie Pampour. She's an NBC News law enforcement analyst. Evie, walk our viewers through what you think's happening right now as far as police are concerned. We're seeing a lot of different agencies here. From what we know, at least at this moment, it sounds like the active shooter is still being hunted down there on the campus. You have a sprawling campus there in Tallahassee and multiple agencies. Who becomes sort of the point person on this, and how do they make sure they neutralize that shooter?
Well, you would probably presume that they've practiced this before, usually like the local security, and I'm also an adjunct professor as well. So I'm aware of like what happens on campuses. You have your local security, the public safety security that works with local entities. So right now you have a large campus, a lot of students. The first thing is going to be going to where the threat is, where the shots are being fired, and finding who the active shooter is, if they haven't already done that. And securing that person. The second thing you're going to want to do is, are there any other entities, other people involved? Sometimes we assume it's always one person. It could be multiple people. After that, after you sweep the entire campus, and that's probably what they're going to need to do, building by building, even if you get that one shooter that you're aware of, you want to go through the whole thing and make sure that you haven't left anything. In addition to that, you're going to look at the active shooter's the way that he or she arrived. Did they have a car, a vehicle? Where did they stay? Did they live on campus? So these are the things you want to look at. Now, from a safety standpoint, meaning I want to know if there are explosives in the car, are there weapons in the car? If the student lived on campus, I want to go into that dorm room. I want to see if there's anything going on in that dorm room, booby traps, explosives. So everything at this point is safety, safety, safety. Find the threat and neutralize that threat.
I wanted to ask you, though, how hard is it in the situation, right? Because we don't know if the shooter is a student, if it's somebody random who walked into campus. And if it is a student, right, making sure they get the right person when you have all these thousands of students trying to evacuate this massive campus.
It's not easy, but most of these campuses have security cameras. And look, I know you're thinking, is it a student? Is it not? It kind of doesn't matter at this point when you're looking at so many people. And you're really, obviously, when you're looking at that person, unless they're blending in, if they've taken, let's assume they've taken their shots and now they're blending in and they're trying to escape. That usually doesn't happen. We usually, when we see these scenarios, one of two things tends to happen. Either the shooter is taken out or the shooter takes themselves out. So it'll be interesting to see if this individual perhaps did take their shots and then decided to blend in. Usually, though, Tom, what we've seen in the past, there are always statements that they're trying to make. What are the different things? I want to send a message. I want people to know. I want people to know it was me. Yeah. I'm upset about something, life-changing, stressful event. And so that's why it's possible that they do know who the shooter is. They also have CCTV cameras. They're looking at where this happened and following that person around on campus.
Okay, Evie, we thank you for that. We want to go back to our student who is on campus, Danielle Streety. Danielle, right now you are eyes and ears there on the campus of Florida State University. That active shooter situation still ongoing. I know police just evacuated you from a building. Talk to us about what happened.
Yeah, so I was in the third floor room locked in. Police knocked on the door and they escorted us out of the building. We're now in the Caraway building with a bunch of other students on campus that were also escorted. It's a very stressful situation. People are distraught. Some people were there. It's very emotional and it's a lot. It's a lot to take in right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it's like. You know, college is supposed to be this great time in a young person's life, and now you're scrambling for safety. Daniela, do you understand? Have the police told you why they're clearing out your building? Are they going building by building, sort of sweeping them, if you will?
Yeah, they're pretty much asking us just to, I don't know why they evacuated us, but they're trying to tell us, you know, did you hear or see anything, any information that you can tell us, hands over your heads, and walked us out of the building just to make sure everything's clear and safe. That's all I've been told. And so now I'm in the new building right now.
Daniela, we're looking at the video that you shot, that you sent into our newsroom right now. Walk us through what we're looking at right here. I think we can see a couple police officers there on the ground.
Yeah, so there's way more presence now than there was in that video. It probably quadruple that. Police presence is very heavy right now. Lots of U.S. Marshals, FDLE. You have every law enforcement agency you can think of right now here within this vicinity. Daniela,
I want to make sure I do take a moment and thank you for being so poised and walking our viewers through what's happening right now, because there are so many students, friends, parents who have connections to Florida State University and just anybody in general across the country concerned about an active shooter on a college campus like that. Have you gotten any more information from friends or from faculty or even from the police about what's happening? Does it feel, and I know you're not a law enforcement expert, but does it feel like they're still looking for this shooter?
To me, it does not feel like they're still looking for the shooter. Not in my eyes. If they're evacuating people outside, I would hope they wouldn't still be looking for the shooter. So I don't think that is the case. I think they're just trying to gather as many students as possible in one safe, guarded area. And that's pretty much all I know. I know that my friends are safe. They were mostly in the same building that I was in, just in a different floor, locked in rooms. So I know that most of my friends are safe. But I know that they have people they knew who are in the union, and I don't know if they are okay or not.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And I'm sorry you're going through this right now. Daniela, we know that 4 people have been transported to the hospital. Are you hearing or seeing any more transports beyond that?
No, I have not seen anything else other than that. I think I saw the first 2 transported to the hospital, but after that, I have not seen any other students.
We're also getting some new information from our Tom Winter, who covers law enforcement for us, telling us that the FDLE, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, says they are on campus and they're assisting the Florida State University Police, along with Highway Patrol and Florida Fish and Wildlife. So you can see so many officers are out there. The FBI also has a small office in Tallahassee. And we understand they're probably going to be sending agents over there if they're not already on the ground there. We should remind you, Tallahassee, of course, is the capital of Florida. This is where Governor DeSantis lives, so there is a large law enforcement presence to begin with there. And you have all those universities, including FSU, where this active situation is happening right now. On the phone, if you're just joining our coverage, is Daniela Streety. She is a student who had to be evacuated, who has been experiencing this active shooter situation and has been poised enough to kind of talk to us and walk our viewers through exactly what's happening. Daniela, if you're getting viewers caught up right now, the latest on the situation, as far as we can gauge, right, from what we can see, is that there's... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm being... I'm out. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm good? Okay. There are more students in there? Yes, there's a lot of students in there. Hey, Elena, start working on how we need a collection point for these that are coming out. Where would you like me to go? Okay, all right. I'm coming. Okay, all right. Sorry, guys, I'm being escorted again by law enforcement.
Danielle, that's okay. Take your time. Do what you need to. If you can, just tell us what's happening.
They're away. Yeah, so I'm currently being escorted. Yes, I'm okay. I'm on. No, I'm not. You see anything happen? I only saw students run out of the Union. I did not hear or see initial events. Okay. All right, so just go ahead and continue on that way, and they'll guide you. Okay. You got all your stuff? My stuff is all in that building. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Danielle, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you tell us what just happened?
Okay. Am I being led back into the building? Yes, ma'am. Oh, but I was just in that building. I don't know what's going on. Okay. There's a little bit, I think, miscommunication going on right now. I was told to escort the building, and now I'm being told to enter back in the building. So.
Yeah, sometimes in these situations, obviously, things aren't run as smoothly, as perfectly as you want, and you can sense sort of a little bit of the chaos there, but police are on the scene. Daniela Streety is a student who's been told to get out of her building, but now she's told to enter back into her building. Are you getting any more information from the police? Have they said if the shooter has been located or neutralized?
I have not been given that information officially from law enforcement here. My uncle is in FWC, unofficially told me through my father that the shooter had been neutralized. That law enforcement here have not said that.
Yeah, and we're not going to go with that information here at NBC News until we have that confirmed. But we appreciate, obviously, Daniela, all the stuff you're doing and helping us understand what's going on your campus. We have about another minute here, Daniela. Anything else you're seeing or hearing that's new from the time you've been talking to us?
Everything's about the same. They're all just trying to put the students all in one building. I'm just now seeing my friends for the first time. It's very emotional right now. I'm honestly glad we're okay.
Yeah, I understand, and I am so sorry you're going through this right now. Daniela Streety, we appreciate all your reporting for us here at NBC News. If you're just joining us, we have been watching this active shooter situation on the campus of Florida State University. We know at least 4 people have been transported to the hospital. Multiple law enforcement agencies on the ground in Tallahassee on the campus right now. We understand the shooting happened sometime around noon in the student union or around the student union. Again, a large police presence. All classes have been canceled. All events have been canceled at Florida State University as they try to locate and neutralize the shooter. We're going to stay following these developments as they happen, and if there are any major developments, we're going to come back on the air with it. That concludes right now this NBC News special report. We're going to have much more coverage on our streaming network, NBC News Now, online at NBCnews.com, and tonight, of course, when I see you on Nightly News. I'm Tom Yamas. We thank you so much for watching.